What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planet Coaster. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, I kind of overdid it. Typically, I do like to try to record at least 2 videos in one day, but since I spent 10 plus hours on just one episode, I ended up getting a little behind schedule. So I think today we're just going to sort of chill, but our main goal is to try to increase foot traffic out here to the new pirate theme zone. And to help us do that, we're going to be adding 2 additional flat rides and some other stuff along the way. But currently, we have one attraction out here, and that's the Victory boat ride. Unless you count the bathroom as an attraction, in which case we have 2. But to get us going here, I think what I want to do is convert these other 3 boardwalks that we have to look more like this one. So literally all I'm going to do is duplicate this thing, we'll drag it over top of the existing boardwalks, and then we'll just kind of extend it all the way down. But check out how easy this is going to be to extend. We just select those few items there on the end, we copy, and we place. It's as simple as that. I have received a couple of comments from you guys now suggesting I should be using keyboard shortcuts instead of the on-screen stuff, and I realize I've never actually talked about this, but the reason that I use the on-screen things is so that you guys can see what I'm doing, because if I just do keyboard shortcuts, you got no idea what buttons I'm pushing on the keyboard. But I appreciate you guys trying to help me out. So, now that we've reached the end here, we are going to grab these 2 poles right yonder. We're going to deselect those, and now we can just duplicate that and plop it down there on the end. Nice and simple. And since we have this one already complete, the other side happens to be exactly the same. Well, it's a mirror image, right? So we're just going to rotate it around like this and slide her on over. The difficult one is definitely going to be this guy, because we have these sort of extended bits in the middle. It should still only take me a couple of minutes, though. I mean, we're already almost done with this. I just have to make sure that it's perfectly in the center of this path. And then we'll have to go through and get rid of the path railing now that we have a custom one. But my AC/DC absolutely kills me when I do stuff like this. It needs to be spot on. That looks pretty dang good, actually. All right, the deed is done. And dude, it looks so dang good. I'm very glad we ended up going through with that. But looking good during the day is one thing, but what about at night? That's just a whole nother level. That is just a whole nother level, dude. I love that. I'm tempted to add some additional lighting to these like facade buildings, and actually, multiple shops do not have a vendor. It's probably fine, right? It's probably fine. But I'm thinking, since we don't really have the space for a hotel in here, like in the Pirate Town Square that we've made, we could use this building and this other building as hotels. That'd probably be a pretty good use of space. And then they're not just a facade, then they actually serve some other purpose other than just separating the 2 zones here. But I love that, dude. The lights just look so dang good. However, even though it looks incredible, it's not going to help increase the foot traffic out here whatsoever. So, we're going to move on to some flat rides. And I think what we're going to start with, since we don't have a ton of money and another ride just broke down, we're going to start with the Whirly Rig. So all I'm going to do is place that over here, because I know that that terrain is nice and flat and pretty much the same height as our little boardwalk areas. And then once again, we're going to grab this, duplicate it, and slide it on over. And I'm going to try to make it look like it's built in to the boardwalk. I don't know that this is going to look very good necessarily. I actually don't know if it's going to work at all, but I'm going to try. Seems like it fits on here pretty dang well, but we got to get rid of this railing if we want it to look good at all. And that's going to get rid of the curb around it too. Dude, it totally blends in now. That's perfect. Okay. In that case, let's select everything right there. We'll use the world axis in case something's kind of askew. And we'll slide it on over. Get it lined up right at the edge of this existing boardwalk. That looks Perfect, dude. I'm a big fan of that. We'll go ahead and confirm the placements. And then the railing right here, we do have to delete. So let's do that. Make sure we don't get rid of the actual boardwalk. Since the existing boardwalk already had posts and lights and railing right there, we really don't need it doubled up. I think that looked a little too strange. And unfortunately, the curb around the ride has reappeared, but it's fine. It's just because it's now floating. It's not technically on the ground anymore. It'll be all right. Like I said, not too worried about it. So, our ride entrance is gonna go... How do I want to do this? I don't want the entrance to, like, impede the boardwalk whatsoever. So let's try right here first. Smack dab in the center. The exit, of course, will have to be as close to the operator as we can possibly get it. So I suppose right about there, it's probably going to be as good as she'll get. I'm going to try to blend this curve here on that path if I can. There we go. That looks quite a bit better. I don't think I'm going to be able to blend this one. I'll try it. Yeah, that ended up screwing everything up. Okay, yeah, that's as good as the exit path is going to get. But now we can just get rid of this railing. That way people don't clip through it. They would just walk through it. And our queue is not going to be as long as I had hoped for. But that's okay. I mean, realistically, it's a kids ride, so maybe the line won't ever be that long. If it ever does get long, though, we can always extend this boardwalk, the actual boardwalk that the ride sits on, and that would give us a little bit more space to have a slightly larger queue. But I also don't want the queue to, like, impede our boardwalk, because this is going to be a main stretch of path. It'll actually end up going all the way to the land over here, and we can do either a log flume over here, perhaps a gondola stretching from the Wild West zone over to the new pirate-themed area. I don't really know what I want to do there yet. I'm trying not to think too far ahead, but we've got our Whirly Rig now in place. Entrance and exit paths are done, and because it's on the boardwalk and surrounded by such beautiful scenery, it's got a scenery rating of 100%, which is perfect. Prestige is only 235, though. That does seem a bit low. Let's change this to full load, change this one to 120, and we definitely don't have enough space for a priority pass entrance and exit, but that's all right. With a starting prestige of only 235, if we take that divided by 35, that gives us a ticket price of $6.71, which is stupid cheap compared to all the other rides in the park. But she's opened up, she's ready to rock, and then after the first couple of guests get on and get off, our prestige might improve slightly. I don't expect it to go up a lot, though. So we've got one additional ride done. Let's move on to the next one. I've got the perfect ride in mind. It's kind of a more adult version of the Whirly Rig. Not really, actually. They're completely different rides, but they're themed in a similar way with a sort of octopus squid theme. So once again, we're going to place this on some flat ground. Let's just go ahead and rename that Rat Meow to Rocktopus. I always try to get rid of the numbers with them. That's really only there in case you have like multiple Rocktopus in your park, and we won't. We're just not that kind of guy. So once again, we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to duplicate this smaller little boardwalk, and we'll try to get it to fit around a massive Rocktopus. Well, it's definitely quite a bit bigger than our Whirly Rig over here, but it sort of needs to be, right? The ride itself is just larger. It takes up quite a bit more space. So we'll confirm that placement, and just like we did on the Whirly Rig, we're going to have to delete this railing, but not the actual boardwalk itself. So we'll scrap that. Looking better already. And then I gave myself a little bit more room to work with for our entrance and exit, I guess, for that matter. But let's place our entrance maybe right in the center again. I liked the placement of that on the Whirly Rig. Our exit, though, I'm going to place right here for right now. We'll probably have to move that, but my idea is to have our exit path go straight this way. So I'm going to select this path grid. It's the same grid that we use for the actual boardwalk. And then if we just make sure we're using the right material, path material, we're going to extend this out, deselect that grid, and then we can get that to connect up right there. That's not too bad. The entrance, on the other hand, looks a bit squirrely. I was just trying to utilize as much real estate as we had available. I think it would look really, really bad if we had a railing on that queue. So I'm going to go ahead and not do that. But let's check this thing out. What's our prestige? Actually, first, only 92. How is the... Oh, Rocktopus is going to be even better because there's like a whole shark animatronic underneath of it. Oh no, and the line is actually kind of getting long. Alright, yeah, we will probably have to fix that then at a later date. I don't really care to do that right meow. 218, you're joking. That is awful. Can we do any... I mean, we could adjust this slightly. What's our... I don't even know where to find that anymore. The ride duration? Oh, duh. We haven't tested it yet, so we're not gonna know. Let me see what the ride duration is. If it's under, like, 100 seconds, I think we could probably improve it a little bit. Everything's breaking down today, dude. We've had so many breakdowns. Wait, it makes bubbles, too? That's kind of cool. Actually, I didn't realize that it did that. Okay, 97 seconds. Honestly, that's probably as good as it's gonna get. The prestige already improved to 299. So let's get our handy dandy calculator out. 299 divided by 35, $8.54. That's what we can charge for now. As we know, guests' opinions on the ride could improve the prestige slightly. Usually not by much, but sometimes that happens. All right. Let's open her up, dude. The Rocktopus is in. What we need to do now, though, is adjust our pirate work roster so that our mechanics will actually tend to our new rides. There we go. Easy as that. And then what was the reliability for this? High. Okay, so that's going to be every 20 minutes for inspection. And then also high for this. So again, every 20 minutes. Now that we're finished with our 2 additional flat rides, I think we can finally justify adding in some food facilities and some drink facilities over here. And the building that I want to use for that is this one right here. It has a decent amount of interior space, actually the same as this one. However, we have a door for a front entrance and we have another door for a back entrance. Whereas this one doesn't really have that as a possibility. So I'm hoping that'll kind of help with the foot traffic issues. We're going to use another Pip Shot water. We just have to, dude. It's literally the best drink facility. Matthew Miller, one of our mods, might say otherwise. I know he's done some extensive testing on all of the facilities. I don't remember which one he said was the best. Maybe Gulpy Energy or something? From what I've seen, people love water. So we're gonna go with that. As for our food shop, though, I'm thinking of just ribbon, right? It's gonna kind of fit into the whole pirate theme. Some barbecue. I think it works. So place that one down, and then since this path was just created all on its own, and this one as well, we're gonna delete both of those. On the outside, let's make sure that that curb is still there all the way around. Perfect. And then right here is where we can bring that in and have it go straight on through to this main path. Look at this, dude. Just Ribbon already getting a little bit of use. That's good to see. Very reassuring. So the guests can be a bit dumb from time to time. Yes, there is a curb right here. There's also a curb on the inside. I know you guys can't really see that. We do have a curb all the way around in here. However, they'll kind of jump the curb on occasion, and we don't want that to happen because then they're going to be phasing through the walls. They will literally look like ghosts. So I think what I want to do to sort of prevent that from happening is I'm going to add those barriers, but try to like bury them in the wall. Got our last one going in right here. That seems pretty good to me. Hopefully that'll help. Sometimes, even though you've added a barrier, the guests will still find a way to clip through walls that you don't want them to clip through. But we've still got a little bit of work to do here on the inside. So we're going to switch back into building mode. We need some stucco shop facades. I don't think that's actually what it's called. We need the stucco shop front. That's it. That's the one. So we're going to place 2 right there. We're going to grab our color from this wall and then change that accordingly. There we go. Okay, now, if we switch to nighttime, it's going to be very, very dark in here. So to fix that, we're going to add the same lights that are on the outside of the building. We'll do one above Pipshot Water, one above Just Ribbon, and then the others we'll place right there. We'll try to make sure they're all the same height. Actually, it looks pretty dang close already. So let's just select all 4 of them. We've got some more people in here for Pipshot Water. And then we will slide them on up. We'll start with that for right now because these 2 we've got to bring out just a tad, just a hair, so they're not like embedded into the wall. That looks pretty good. And actually height-wise too, that's not bad at all. Now then, if we switch back to nighttime mode, we're actually going to have some light in here. But I would like to still give the illusion that the guests are, able to walk through a door. So since we don't have any doors in there, we're just going to grab this one from the outside, duplicate it, rotate it around, and we'll slide it into position. Should look pretty dang solid. There we go. All right, now that we have that done, I want to add just a little bit of seating in here if we can. I don't know that we can for sure because of the path being underneath of a building piece. It might get kind of weird there. Let's go over to this. I'm just going to type pirate. There we go. Dude, that's perfect. The pirate picnic table. Uh-oh. Okay, we might not be able to place as many as I was hoping for. Oh, there it is. Why can't I put it here, but I can put it here? I'm not going to worry about that too much. Let's just place some of them down. 2 is probably all that we can fit in there, but I think we could probably put some out here too. We just need a path for them to sit on. So I'm going to grab this grid. We'll put that path there, this one here, and they shouldn't be touching or connecting to these, right? Yeah, looks good. So now we've got both indoor and outdoor seating, which is perfect. Across the way, I'm thinking this building could be an ice cream shop, and maybe like a churro shop as well, because the interior space is exactly the same as this one. So we'll probably just do a very similar thing, but just with 2 different facilities. And then again, we can have some nice seating and stuff out in the front. But first, before we move on to another project, I need to edit this building just a little bit so we can get some signage put up here. I think there's a pirate-themed sign. I'm fairly sure that there's a pirate-themed sign in here somewhere. This one could work, or we could just do the same sign that we did on the other buildings. Let's just go with that, so we have a nice cohesive look around Pirate Town Square. That actually mounted perfectly. We don't even need to move the thing. But what do we make this say? Food and drinks? Concessions, maybe? Yeah, let's just go with that. Let's just go with that. I don't think food and drinks would fit very well on that sign. So we'll have it advertise both of those locations, Just Ribbon and Pipshot Water. And there we go. The deed is done. We could have maybe kept the roof. No, never mind. It clips into the sign. I don't like it. It's probably better without. So, that is the concession stand building now complete. We're going to do pretty much the exact same thing over here, but like I said, with ice cream and churros to this building.
Many minutes later.
Every time that I think something's going to be super quick and super easy, it never is. Dude, I don't know why, but it wasn't letting me place down the churro stand. The ice cream stand was fine. That was actually quick and easy. But the churro stand, for whatever reason, it needed me to extend the terrain out. So I guess it would have a flat spot to sit on, but we didn't have that problem over here. Like, the pip shot water is completely over water, and it was fine. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but I've finally gotten it sorted, and it looks fantastic. So we have our ice cream, we have our churro stand on this side, we have our pip shot water, and our just ribbon on the other. I decided to go with concessions again on the sign. I probably could have done ice cream, but then I would have needed to do plus churros because it's not just ice cream, and it's a whole thing. But the deed is done. So the last thing that we need to do now, let me check just to make sure we don't have any extra vendors over here that shouldn't be. It looks like we do. We have a free roaming vendor for some reason. So we've got Pip Shot, Just Ribbon, Cosmic Cow, the churro stand. So we need one additional staff member. One additional vendor out here. That way we can have a floater for this building, and then we can have a floater for the other. That way, hopefully, it's always staffed. Judging by the trash in the middle of the path too, we're probably going to want some trash cans, but I'm going to have to do that at a later date. I've already spent a little bit more time on this today than I really wanted to. Let's go back to vendors really quick, and I'll get everyone adjusted. So Pip Shot is just going to be pirate. Oh, what the heck? Why did it choose that? I chose Jillian. Anyways, was that a Western person? I'm going to go out on a limb and say that was a Western work roster person. So now that's pirates. That's pirate. This is pirates. They all have to be pirates. What is happening? Dude, I select work roster and it's selecting my security guard. So staff building should be work roster now? I'm just going to close that and reopen it. There we go. I have never seen that happen before. But there's a first time for everything, right? So now we just need to make another big old selection over everything. So all of our new facilities are included in that roster. So that way the vendors actually know where they're supposed to be going, where they're supposed to be working. Oh, people are actually going to sit inside. Nice. Nice, dude. All right. On that note, I do think that's where we're going to have to wind things down at for today. But once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.